Hello children, welcome into the second lecture of chapter number 2, Cultural Heritage of India, Tradition, Handicraft and Fine Arts. In the previous chapter yesterday we had seen about what was heritage, then we had seen about the clay work, then we had seen about the art of weaving. In that we had seen regarding the muslin cloth. We had also seen into detail about patolas of Patan, and we had seen about the art of embroidery and weaving. Today we'll go further, so without wasting time, let us go further. Leather industry. Now leather industry was very important in olden times. Now why it was important? Because in olden times there were no vehicles. People used to travel through horses and other kind of animals, and due to that leather industry was very important in that particular time. See, it was very important during ancient time. Leather industry was very important during the ancient Indian, right? Leather was used for making mashak. Okay, it was used for making mashak, right? That is actually the, you can say, a seat which is kept on the back of the horse to sit. Okay, it was used for making bellows, shoes, purses and leather strips for the pets. Mojdi of Rajasthan is very famous. Now if you have gone to Rajasthan, you might be knowing this. Mojdi of Rajasthan, that is a footwear, is very famous, and Rajasthan is world famous for this kind of mojdi. Now what is very unique thing about mojdi? Mojdi is made out of leather, and usually it is made out of leather of camel, right? Mojdi is such kind of footwear which doesn't have a right and left side. Usually when you wear shoes or chappals or anything, you have a right foot and a left foot chappal, but that is not the case in mojdi. You can wear either of the mojdi in any of your foot. Various other things like saj, palam, lagam, etc. were also made of leather. So leather was a very important material in the ancient time. Why? Because all these things were made with leather, and leather was a prominent place into the life of the people at that time. See, these are bellows. Bellows are basically a kind of instrument which is used by ironsmiths, for pumping the air inside the furnace. This part of bellow can be expanded. And air is blown out of this pipe into the furnace, and due to that the heat will get extra oxygen which will help the heat to grow. This is the photograph of mojdi, right? This is the water bag of, okay, this is a modern version, but a water bag was also used, made of leather at that time. Shoes, purses and all other things of leather are still made, and we are using them into our day-to-day life. And you might be knowing that things made of real leather are very expensive. They are also very expensive. At the same time, they are very durable. They are good for use for a longer time. The next topic is bead work and enamel work. Bead work and enamel work. India is surrounded by sea on three sides. See, India is surrounded by sea on three sides. India is having almost 7,517 kilometers of coastline. How much? 7,517 kilometers of coastline on east, west and south directions. So on three sides, India is a peninsula. This we already studied into geography in 9th standard. India is peninsula. Peninsula means a landmass surrounded on three sides with water. So India is having a very big coastline, and due to that diamonds and beads are found abundance here. See, they are also used in making ornaments. Diamond and beads. Beads means moti. Moti. The world famous diamonds are Great Mughal and Kohinoor. You might have heard these names, Great Mughal and Kohinoor. They are the world famous diamonds which were found into Indian diamond mines of Golconda. Diamonds and gold were used into abundance in ancient time. Ancient times, the diamonds and gold were used into a lot quantity. Okay, our kings used to wear a large quantity of diamond and gold into their day-to-day life, and this supports that India was known as Sone ki Chidiya in ancient times. Now this is a photograph of the crown of Queen of England. Crown of Queen of England. Okay, British Queen Mother crown, platinum and gems. See, and you can see the this is a model of Great Mughal diamond, and you can see that particular diamond here. You can see this diamond is studied into the crown of Queen of England. Okay, so Britishers have taken a lot of jewels, lot of gold, diamond when they used to rule India, and they've taken those items from here and elaborately decoratedly used into the ornaments of their kings and queens, and it is still with them. Various type of diamonds and rubies, emerald, topaz, etc. are used by the kings. See, various types of diamond, rubies, emeralds, topaz, these are precious stones. These are different colored precious stones that were used by the kings of that time. Bead work had a prominent feature in Gujarat. So Gujarat was very famous for the bead work. Gujarat was very famous for the bead work. Various articles like Toran, Pachat, Bari, Chakla, Lagannu Naliyar. You might have seen Lagannu Naliyar means the coconut which is used during the ceremony into Indian marriages is also made up of bead. It is totally covered up with bead. It is covered up with moti. Then Indoni, you can see the photograph of Indoni. Indoni is basically a kind of thing which is kept on the head while filling up the water, and here the pot is kept so that it can be put stable. And Modu is a kind of face guard, which was used at that time. Khambat is very famous for a cake. See, Khambat was famous for a cake. Okay, it is very famous for a Khambat, very famous for the cake at that time, and still it is also famous and producing one of the finest cakes in the world. Now here I was showing you different kind of precious stones. Okay, the first one is sapphire. Sapphire is blue color precious stone. It can be found into different colors also, but usually it is found into blue color, and it is extensively used into making ornaments. The second one is ruby. Ruby is very famous for its red color, blood ruby. The red color famous ruby, and it looks very pretty when it is used into making decorative items, making decorative jewelry. Topaz is again a precious blue color stone, and it looks very beautiful because of its oceanic color. It is also very famous, very popular among ladies for the ring. You can see a beautiful ring decorated with topaz into on your screen. Emerald is green color stone which is used, and it is again very famous for the rings and pendants and all other things. So here we have seen that different kind of precious stones which were found due to the long coastline of India, and which made India a very prosperous country of that time. So emerald is also very famous. Emerald is very famous, the green color stone, right? Next comes enamel. Now what is enamel? The enamel is basically the artistic way of inlaying bright colors into silver and gold ornament. Is the artistic way of inlay. This is a very important word. Inlay means to put in the gaps. put in the gaps. So into those silver and gold ornaments, you can see in the background photograph, right, that is inlay. Okay, into the gap beautiful color is put in a very decorative manner. India is the only place where experts can see into enamel works. India in ancient times was the only place where such kind of work was done, or where such kind of work was found. Enamel work mostly was done into gold and silver. So at that time gold, and mostly the people used to wear gold and silver ornaments. So enamel work was seen into this places, this kind of ornaments. Enamel work of Jaipur, Delhi, Lucknow and Hyderabad is famous. These are places which are very famous. Jaipur, Delhi, Lucknow and Hyderabad for the enamel work of them. And each of the city is famous for different color of enamel work. They are very famous for the enamel work. Okay. See, Jaipur and Delhi are famous for red and green color enamel work. Jaipur and Delhi are famous for red and green color enamel work. Varanasi is famous for pink color. Varanasi is famous for pink color, while Hyderabad is famous for black color enamel work. So you can see a different city is expertising into different colors of enamel work. Okay, here you can see this photograph given at the back side of your video. They all have this enamel. You can see this enamel, beautiful enamel work into this elephant, right? Blue, red and all kind of enamel work is done. Next comes Jari work. Jari work. Now Jari work of Surat is world famous. Surat is very famous for its Jari work, right? Jari work on sari and other garments is worth seeing. Say Surat is very popular for the Jari work on the sari and other garments, and there is a very big industry for such kind of work. Ajrak work, batikam, knitting and embroidery and jardoshi. These are different kind of work that are done in Surat. These are different kind of work. Ajrak work, batikam, knitting, embroidery and jardoshi. These are different kind of. See, the artisans of Surat are such talented that they can make beautiful dresses like sari, panetar, karchora, etc. into with Jari if needed. They are very famous, and those kind of works are extremely expensive. They are extremely expensive. See, these are different kind of work. This is, we have seen here, batikam, knitting and embroidery, right? This is batikam, this is batikam, right? Again, and this is jardoshi, this is jardoshi work. Okay, this kind of work is done with blocks, printing of blocks. This kind of work is done with printing of blocks. Next comes wooden art. Wooden art is very famous into India. Wooden art is again very famous into India. Wood used extensively in India. Carving on the wood can be seen in Gujarat, Rajasthan and other states. See, these are states which are very famous for the wooden work. Gujarat, Rajasthan and other states. Carving on woods can be seen into temples. You might have seen beautiful carving done into different temples. If you have gone to Salangpur, then you can see a very beautifully carved temple there. In Gujarat, traces of 350 years old wood art at Somnath is seen. Okay, beautiful work, almost 350-year old, is seen at Somnath temple. Various places like Idar, Sidhpur and Sankheda are very famous. Sankheda is very famous for its unique furniture, for unique wooden furniture. Things like bajot. Bajot is a small stool which is used for ceremony. Swing, cupboard are made by such kind of wood. You can see here different pieces of wood engraving. Okay, here at the bottom you can see an artist busy carving the wood into very decorative manner. You can see a box with beautiful detailed decoration by into the wood by the artist. So such kind of work is seen into woods during that time. Next is inlay work. Inlay work. Now again this particular word is important. Inlay. We have already seen a previous word, right? That was enamel, right? We had seen the work like enamel. Here inlay. Inlay is used for beautifully decorating things into mainly into wood and stone. In ancient art mostly used for jewelry and statues. Bikaner, Rajasthan is famous for it. Bikaner city is very famous for the inlaying. Bikaner city is very famous for inlaying work. Now what is inlay? Now you can see this is basically a wood. At the back side you can see this is basically a wood, and in that wood a carving is done. Suppose you take this particular part, then carving is done, and in that carving a precious, you can say, stone or metal is put into the same shape, cut into the same shape and put into it, and that type of work is known as inlay. Various ornaments are also made like necklace, nose ring, then damini, chunni, kundal, cap, etc. This all ornaments are also made using this particular inlaying work. You can see these are some of the ornaments. Here inlaying is done of precious stones. Here also inlaying is done into this bangles. Here you can see the process of inlaying, how first of all cavity is being made, and then colored stone is put into this particular cavity that will make such kind of finished product. This is a finished product of the inlaying. So you understood what is inlaying, and it is a very important feature of Indian handicraft. Artisans were so expert in that work of inlaying, and due to that, as we already discussed, Bikaner of Rajasthan became world famous due to such kind of work, and it have taken the name of India at the global level due to this beautiful and detailed intrinsic work. If you have seen photographs of Taj Mahal, such kind of inlaying is extensively used into Taj Mahal, decoration of Taj Mahal.